Hey Circle Gatherers, it's Mr. Wife Wolf here. I thought I would do a video because over the fall I have received a beautiful set of tarot cards that I have not cleansed or gotten ready to use yet, and I want to use it for my New Year's divination reading for myself. It's called the Forhoxa Tarot. I don't know if anybody has this deck as well. It's by MJ, the same lady did this, the Crow Tarot, MJ Kulian, I believe her name is Kuliani. Anyway, if I butchered this name, I apologize. But anyway, beautiful, beautiful cards. This is really not an unboxing. I mean, I might show you a couple of cards up close, but I just wanted to kind of share what I'm going to be doing because we're in the space between Christmas and New Year's, and this is the time when a lot of people start to do their New Year's divinations. So I'm going to be one of those people. So what I've got here is I've got my cards. I've got something to cleanse the cards with. You could use, a lot of people use smoke. You could use a bell. You could use spritz them with holy water, but I wouldn't do that unless you had cards that were waterproof, and I don't know if any that are waterproof, but and some people sing or chant, or there's a number of things that you can do to cleanse them. I usually spritz the area and then just kind of run my cards through, but today I'm going to actually use smoke. I'm probably going to do this outside after I do this video, but the smoke that I choose to use, I do have some garden sage that I could use, but it's not dried. I grow it. I could use rosemary, like a stick of rosemary that's dried. I could use spruce or jasper, anything that's local. But what I choose to use, because I'm kind of I'm a bit of a, not just a ditch witch, but a bit of a kitchen witch too. I choose to use basil. I love using basil as incense. It just smells lovely. I love the energy that it cleanses with. Plus, there's a lot of things that I've done with basil, and I've done videos on them before, but so easy, like it's just so attainable, and anyone can get basil, and it's like it's not expensive. You don't have to go to a magical store to acquire it. You can go to a dollar store if you had to. A lot of people have this stuff in their kitchen. Some people cleanse with thyme. You could do that as well. You could get yourself a little charcoal disc or something that will hold the heat but will not emit any poisonous fumes or nauseous fumes. But anyway, this is just so easy. I'm just going to light it, and what I'll do is I'll run my cards over, each card over the lit leaf. I've got quite a few leaves here, so I've got my work cut out for me. But and then I'll at least have them cleansed. Once they are cleansed, I will consecrate them. So I write myself a consecration, a little consecration chant. So I will, I'll set the intention of what I'm going to use these cards for, and then while I consecrate them, holy crap, I'm having a hard time with that word today. While I consecrate them, you could do a number of things. You could use consecrated oil. This is an oil that you would specially make, or that you would purchase for to consecrate the tools that you use for magical purposes, or just for spiritual purposes, quite frankly. And you can either put a dab in the center of your card, or even on the corners of your cards if you wanted to, or you could simply rub the oil on your hands and kind of rifle through them, or whatever you wanted. I would not use too much oil because you will get it on your cards, and depending on the card stock, it might give you an adverse effect. It might not look nice in the end. So just be mindful whenever you're doing anything with oil. You could even, if you wanted to, you could even kind of oil the outside of your deck. If you had a little bit on your hands, you could just kind of consecrate it like this. Although that, you will get the edges of the cards. You could just kind of almost fan them right? While you read out your intention for the cards. Just watch that, you know, you don't get too much. So, and then after that, if you wanted to, you could, some people sleep with them under their pillow for some say a whole moon cycle. I would be too, I gotta tell you, I wouldn't have the patience for that. I'd probably do it for a few nights if I could. I know I'd be anxious to start to use the cards as soon as possible. Or you could just put your energy into it another way. You could just simply start using them, right away. Simply start using them right away. The more you touch them, the more your energy is going to go into the cards. But remember, you want to cleanse them as soon as you get home, because they have come from a factory. You know, other people have handled them. You know, it's not just a machine. You don't know what kind of day they've had. I mean, we all know cars have been created in a factory during specific times. Depends on what the workers were going through. Sometimes there are duds, you know, because bad factory, bad energy, bad, you know, things that have happened in that area. So the same can be for anything. You can leave your energy on an item. So we want to make sure that we've cleansed all that energy. Then get to know your cards, you know, like look at this beautiful card. This is the Knight of Fire. Gorgeous. You see it? She's beautiful. Let's see if I can get some other cards that are Queen of Air. What some people like to do, and I was taught this in a class that I took just recently, to get to know your Six of Air, to get to know your cards, especially if you're just learning tarot. Some people will, of course, they'll do you do your daily draw, and then you can read up on what those cards mean, kind of see if there's something specific that you're looking at in a card, you know, whenever you do then once you get a little further into it, of course, you know, it's your draws and what they're looking at, where they're placed. But anyway, that's further on. But when you're learning how to read tarot, what some people do is they separate the major arcana from the minor arcana. And I got to tell you, Cara Hamilton told me about this. I love her. She's a wonderful occultist and a psychic. And anyway, but you separate your majors from your minors, and then you can use your major arcana to tell a story. So mix them up, you know, like this is, you know, the Fool's Journey. So it's from the Fool right up to the World. So mix them up and, you know, once you start to get to know the cards, make up a story. So you pull your Fool, and there once was a gentleman that was ready for a new adventure. God, that's so, okay, let me see if I can make up a different one. There once was a gentleman that had enough of this crazy COVID world and decided he wanted to start his own new adventure. He cast aside all of his material things and walked down the highway one day for waiting to see what took his eye first, and that would be the direction that he went in. And then let's say you pull the Chariot. Lo and behold, a Mustang GT pulled up beside him and said, "Get in, we're going for a drive." You know, like, just kind of play around with your cards, make up stories, get to know them, you know, because every situation, depending on the cards that come up before that, you almost have to, you don't have to, but you can read these things intuitively depending on what has come up beside those cards. So if a Chariot is normally about someone moving quickly, you know, like just moving through something, just for the fact of getting through something. You know, if there is a devil beside them, well, it could be someone running away from something. It could be a person that's running away from their fears, right? Or trying to find help. But if you put that Chariot in front of the moon, well, then perhaps it's someone that really needs to start looking at their own spiritual situation. Perhaps it's someone that really needs to start doing some soul searching. Perhaps it's someone whose time has come, and it's a come to Jesus moment for someone, right? So I don't teach tarot. I have a friend that does it quite well. You all know her, Suzanne. But I'm just kind of giving you some little hints if you're brand new and you've got a new deck and you're just wondering, oh, what can I do with it? You know, until like a tarot class is available with whoever you want to learn from. There's a lot of things that you can do in the meantime, such as making a story with the major arcana, or looking at the minor arcana, learning about the numerology that goes with it, and just really looking at the pictures. You know, once you take classes, and if you're inclined to take classes, some people don't need them, so, but if you want to take classes, you'll learn more as you go, and there's lots of different spreads that you can use to accommodate how the cards sit and what the significator is and so on. But there's no reason why you have to wait until a tarot card, until a class or a book arrives or anything like that before you start playing and getting to know your cards. Especially if they really speak to you, right? Especially if there are cards that really resonate with you right now, right? Journal about it. Put it up on someplace where you're going to see it from time to time. Put a candle beside it. If it's how you're feeling right now, you know, make space for it. There's a lot of people that are fearful right now. There is a lot of people that are very, very grateful right now. There are a lot of people that are in receipt of a number of things, that their life is just so full of everything that they need. And there's some people that don't have anything right now, but everything's temporary. But it is important for us to make space for what's happening in the moment and know that it's only a moment and it does pass. There is another card for you after that one. So anyway, this is just how I like to kind of look at how I practice. And oh my goodness, like, look at this. It's so beautiful. And the reason why I bought these cards, this is the, I hope this is not showing up backwards like it is here, but this is the Nine of Earth. The fairy on top of that fox. Isn't it beautiful? The reason why I purchased these cards, why these cards spoke to me, and of course this is how you can make up your decision on how you purchase your cards. I probably over-research my cards. It stops me from impulse buying, but it stops me from buying, period. It's not always a good thing. But these cards, the writing behind it is: journey through the magical land of the Forhaxa, Swedish for the enchant, cast a spell and bedevil. This is a realm where dark and light collide, where the elements hold court, and where we find ourselves connecting to a force outside of our own. So really delving into the Fae this year, learning about my shadow work and who I am and how I've come to be here, embracing the light and the dark, and seeing things for what they are and kind of trying to just accept. Look at this Ace of Fire. It's gorgeous. I'm trying to journal a little bit more. I'm doing my omen days. I'm looking at my, oh my God, Elder of Fire. I'm looking at what's around me outside, especially birds. Birds really, I don't know, they hold a special place for me. Five of Fire. So I was away for the holidays, for part of the holidays, and we traveled. And on my travel home, like my travel there, we went to Ontario. On the way there, I was waiting to see these wild turkeys that just captivate me. Anyway, it's crazy. I didn't see them on the way to Ontario, but on our way home, I saw a number of them. And I'm trying to, not everything you see, of course, is a sign. But to me, if I see 3 of them together, and I'm actively looking for things so that I can, collate what's going on in my life and what I need to work on. If I see 3 of them together, to me, it's something I need to take notice of. So I saw 8 wild turkeys in the field. Well, I was lucky I saw my wild turkeys. I was very grateful for that. And then a little further down the road, I saw 3. Here we see crows all the time. I saw crows one day. So many crows, it was crazy. but they were swooping down in front of the car when we were driving, and that's not abnormal either, but they really caught my eye. And I'd see crowds of them, but then I saw 3 and they were kind of playing with one another in front of our vehicle as we were driving. So to me, that was my second omen. So that's going to be, wild turkey will be January, the crow will be February. So yesterday, my husband and I were going for a walk, and I saw osprey. It's not uncommon for me to see osprey here. It's the national bird, or not national, it's the provincial bird. So, you know, we see osprey a lot here. But they were taking a bath in the lake, and I've never seen that before. The lake is half frozen, and they were splashing around, and, you know, one of them was really trying to clean, I'm going to say it's a she, I'm not sure, but really trying to clean her face. And my husband thought it was a seagull, but I said, no, it's not a seagull. Listen to it. And if you've ever heard osprey, they chirp, and it was chirping while it was cleaning itself. And sure enough, it was finished. We watched it for quite some time. We watched it. It finished, and it flew off. And when they start to fly, you can tell that they're not, if they're seagulls or not, and they weren't. And where it was flying to was another spot of the lake that was frozen, where there was another osprey that was taking a bath. And then not further away from that osprey was a third. So of course, that's my third omen. So that's the osprey. So that will be for March. So now comes the time where I'll start to do, I've written these things down, so I'll journal on them. And then I will do some research. But I will also pull my 12 cards and my significator for the year using my tarot cards. And I also have some Kyliot cards that I'll be working with as well. So I'm just going to kind of mix that in and have some fun with it. And I'll journal on it and see where it takes me. But, you know, this is a time of year. This is a quiet time of year. They kind of call it a foggy time of year, where a number of us, not everyone, but a number of us have some time off between the holidays. And, you know, you can really do some inner work. It's quieter. The sun has returned. I mean, I'm starting to feel the effects of, I don't know, it's just hopefulness, right? Because I'm someone, even though I never thought that I was, I'm someone that needs the sun. So once January comes, you know, towards the middle of January, I really start to feel a lot better. But even just knowing that it's coming is something. So anyway, so I just thought I'd come on here and just kind of talk about what I'm up to this week. Then I'm going to make my floor wash, of course, and we went through that last year. So if you're interested in doing a floor wash this year, I might, you can find one of my videos that I did last year. I think I did it Bye Bye 2020 spray. I'll do something similar this year, but of course I don't know if I'll record it. Probably not. I've already done that. But anyway, there's lots of witchery to do in the winter months, and I really look forward to it more so than any other time. I think it's because we're doing all this inner work, and to me it goes hand in hand. So I hope everyone's keeping well. I hope that everyone has everything that they need, that you're all staying healthy, that you're taking the proper precautions to make sure that your family is well, and that you're happy and prosperous in the upcoming year, and that you're able to take some time to rest and to be with your loved ones and to contemplate what's to come in 2022. Anyway, much love to everyone. Many blessings, and have a great day. Bye.